Hello, dear friends. Hi. I'm going to wait for some people to arrive. We're going to be talking about knitting hacks, things that instructions don't tell you, things that, a ver, just a second. I'm going to say this is Joanne. Yeah. So, knitting hacks. We have a lot of people now. We have 11 people. Ah, Tooth Fairy, how are you? Hi, Mary. How are you doing? Oh, Anna and I were talking about uh, how in the summer it is so good to mm, make small things. And Mary Lloyd, does like scarves, like the French scarves. She makes them with tiny needles and thin yarn, and she crochets Christmas trees, tiny. So those are things that you can take anywhere. Like if you want to go to a doctor's office or something like that, take. Oh, okay. About knitting hacks. If you are going to a doctor's office or to the beach, which is what I do, and you want to take your knitting with you, which is something I do because you can have your chair and your drink and your umbrella and your hat and knit because if you're going to be there quite a while. So take a Ziploc bag and put your yarn, your needles and your yarn in there. You know, the size of this Ziploc bag depends on the size of your project, but I don't take large projects places because they're too bulky. Even when I go on a trip, I don't take large things with me. I just take whatever I can make small, like like Mary does, and maybe I can make some not or maybe the beginning of a shawl, but that means that if I need to continue knitting it and I'm bored somewhere, I need more yarn and I have to carry it with me. So when you travel or go places, take small things with you and put them in the Ziploc bag, seal two sides, and then your yarn feeds through the middle or the side, whatever you wish. But Ziploc bags are very good to carry your yarn and your knitting, to carry your cell phone so it doesn't get wet and the sand doesn't get in your phone. And you know, just use them because, and then you know what's in there. Okay, I have a little list of knitting hacks that I made a little while ago. And for example, if you are making buttonholes, and so remember that I told you that I make buttonholes on both sides, whether it's a boy or a girl, I make buttonholes on both sides, and then you can put the button anywhere you wish because with the needle and thread that you're going to be using to put the button, you close the hole and put the button. And so whenever you have something small like this, let me see there's another buttonhole there. Try to do your knit. Let me get a pencil here. Try to do your knit together. That's my yarn over right in there. Try to do your knit together on this side because it reinforces the edge. So it doesn't matter too much if the hole gets pulled on this side but you don't want the hole pulled on this side too much, and so the knitted together go on this side. For example, on the other side, I did the same thing. So here I did yarn over knitted together on the right side, and here I did knitted together yarn over. So like that, the reinforcement is done on this side. Okay, that's a knitting hack. Another knitting hack is that, for example, if you are unraveling something that you're making, so I'm making something here. By the way, this is the 3-stitch in the round, which is going to the 3-stitch lace in the round, because a lot of people want to know how to do that. Oh, this is Anna. She wants to say hello.
No, I don't, but I do. Sure, I do. I'm here. They see me.
Yes. So, when you are unraveling, please do not go like this with your yarn. Please, 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 because you make it thinner when you unravel and you pull at it. So when you are unraveling, put 2 or 3 fingers over your yarn, and then you can go around, so like that you don't pull at your yarn. You're not making it thin. See what I mean? You go like this, and then take your fingers off, and then your yarn is there secure but nice and loose, because you don't want to have a thinning yarn or stretched out yarn. So that's another one. Now, on the edges of anything, I usually do not pass the first one as if to knit uh, or anything like that. I usually knit the first and work the first and the last stitch. Always, always. Until, see, my mother used to pass the first stitch as if to knit and then continue. And she had very pretty edges. And I did that on this sweater. See how nice the edges are? So there you go. So this is I cannot say it's the first time that I do it, because I have knitted many years. So, but my mother used to pass the first one. I do not, until you have something that is open, because like this, because this is the side that's going to show. But even then I didn't. So I decided to do it this time, and I am enjoying it a lot. Normally, when you attach 2 edges, you do not pass the first one as if to knit or as if to purl or whatever, because and then you have all your knots there. But it's very easy to sew them if you knit the first and the last one. So it's very easy to sew them. You do not have any wobbly things there. Talking about wobbly, when you're binding off and you look at your last stitch and you go, what happened to you? And you always have that large last stitch. So one thing you can do is knit it through the back. So like, I'm sorry. sorry. Knit it through the back, so like that stitch gets twisted and not as wobbly. Or you can pick up that stitch together with one strand from the bottom, put them on top of your needle, and then knit them together. So like that, you're picking up a strand from below, from the edge, and knitting the last one together, and it just kind of adjusts it. It kind of pulls into that. So like that, the last one doesn't look strange because then you have to kind of ease the rest of the stuff. So
Martha said, bless you.
thank you. It did sound like a sneeze. Thank you, Martha. Anyway, uh, I already talked about the the two togethers and the Ziploc bag. Ah, another one. Uh, Before I had pretty needles like this. This is the Knitter's Pride needles. See, the cable is very nice. It doesn't curl. It doesn't. Not my kitty is around here playing with my stuff.
He's about to jump on it.
No, no, no! Don't jump! Don't jump! Okay, so before we had like the Chiago needles and the Knitter's Pride needles. Remember when you took the uh, we used to have they came in a little bag like this, and you would take them out of the bag and they were all curly and you couldn't make them to look nice like this, and it was a mess. What I used to do is put boiling water, put a pot of boiling water on my stove, make it, boil a little. It doesn't need to be all that hot. And then stick your needles in there. And what happens is that leave them there for a little while and then take them out very carefully and stretch it. You can even take like a couple of, maybe like a fork, and pass it through so you don't have to use your fingers. But what I do is take a towel and pass it through the towel like so, and they do get straightened out. And it does work. It really does. And maybe you have to do it 2 or 3 times, but it works. And at least it's not going to curl like this on you. So, what else?
I know that there's one knitting pack where you wash your yarn to soften it. Like you put it inside, the meshes.
A bag. A
bag for like the ones you use for your delicates.
Yes.
You put the yarn in there to soften it.
I have never done that, but I have heard about it. That you put your yarn, the whole thing, in a bag, in one of those broad bags, and
Delicate bag.
yeah, delicates, and put it in your washer. But maybe I would do it by hand.
Wash it by hand?
Yes, put the yarn in the bag,
So
and yes, and wash it by hand, and then rinse it very nice, and then put it in a towel and roll it to take the excess moisture off, and then take the ball of yarn and put it on a towel to dry. But I have not done that.
You can also have a little bowl and then put a paper clip, one of those large paper clips that keep the tabs open, and pass the yarn through it. Yes.
I have seen that. Yes, you put one of those paper clips and pass the yarn through there. So you have your yarn in the bag and pass the yarn through there. there's a lot of stuff. So maybe you know some that we don't, and it would be interesting to see what knitting hack you know that we don't. Um, okay, another thing. Uh, I used to use like woolite for my sweaters, and yes, and woolite is a brand of shampoo. No, of shampoo for knits, and I noticed that it would take some of the color off my knits, and I decided not to. There's woolite for dark uh, knits, for example, navy blue or gray or black, and it helps with not taking color away. But I use just regular um, clear soap, and the all soap, something like free and clear. That's what I use, but very little. And so, I wash everything by hand. Unless it's like a baby blanket or something like that, I put it on delicate in my wash, and then uh, in my washer, and then stretch it out. But it is very strange. It is very rare that I wash on the washing machine any of my knits. So one of the things is that if you don't have a nice soap to use for your knits, use baby shampoo. So the baby shampoo has special something to handle the how you call it, the ugly, the baby hair is very delicate. So if it's okay for baby hair, it should be okay for your knits. Then to saying. So yes, will light dark on everything? Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's the best thing because the wool light, the white thing, I don't trust it anymore. But the dark, yes, the dark is okay, or baby shampoo, or the free and clear soaps like the all. Those are very nice also. I just use little, but they're nice soaps. Uh, what is it? You can't get woolite anymore. Well, but there must be in the dark. I think I have seen it. ¿Qué dices? Say my name in Spanish, Marta. Marta. Not Marta. It's Marta. You don't on Marta. Anyway, I have a friend, Marta, and she lives in California. And anyway, I have several Marta friends. And okay, so thank you for being. Okay, please send us knitting hacks because like that we can even make a list and share it. Find it at home. Really? Thanks for some of the yarn. Rougher than others, yes. Some are rougher than others, yes, Anna. Good thing. Red Heart Super Saver. Yes, the Red Heart Super Saver usually is, you do need to wash it after you knit it because it has a sort of starch. But once you knit it and you wash it, it becomes soft. So I don't use it very much. If I'm going to spend time and effort on something that I'm going to knit, I prefer to use a little nicer yarns. But I don't have anything against Red Heart Super Saver. But Red Heart has very nice yarns, acrylic yarns like the soft, I think it's called. Red Heart Soft. That is very nice yarn to knit with. And so, okay, yes, yeah, but you can soften it. But I don't soften it before. I don't put it in the wash. I don't do anything to the yarn before I knit it. As a matter of fact, I knit it and then wash it. You know, you're gonna wash it anyway. By the way, I do not I I do not knit something and then wear it or give it away. I wash it always. So it is something that I like to do. So I wash it and I roll it in a towel and I put it on top of a dry, clean towel and let it dry. So usually I do. I wash everything after I knit it. Yeah, you're going to have somebody's. If you're giving it to somebody, they're going to have something of you anyway. There's always a piece of your hair in your knit, so it's going to go to your friend whether she knows it or he knows it or not. So it's part of you, and there's your DNA is there. Okay. Yes, Red Heart Soft is nice if you want acrylic. But there's a lot of very nice yarns that are not that expensive. There's like cotton and linen, and or bamboo and cotton, or bamboo and linen, and those are very pretty yarns and very. Some are a little bit rough because linen, crude linen is a little bit rough. But it depends on what you want to knit. If you want something sturdier, there's all kinds of there. I'm surprised, Helen. Yeah, yes, yes, Tooth Fairy. It is very funny because, and then you see it in your knit all of a sudden, a hair. Okay, and you take it off, but it's still there. I mean, you cut it, it's still there. Okay. you find it everywhere, like all over the place. Uh, Alpaca with mulberry silk. Oh, yes, some of them are pricey, but for example, Hobby Lobby has mix, like nice mix. And there's a place Mary and I used to go in Austin to this yarn shop, and they have very pretty. You can find it online. You can find yarn online that is like cotton and silk, and silk and alpaca, like Thea's is saying, and yes, yes, Nancy. It is very funny, but it happens. Okay, I have to go, and thank you very much. And I love you all. And I had to leave because our kitty was making a lot of noise. And cheers, Mary. Cheers. Be well and be happy. And thank you very much for being with us. And I'll see you next Wednesday at noon. Nice seeing you, CS. Nice seeing you, Tooth Fairy, Marilyn, Mary, Nancy. You are very, very nice people. I enjoy Marta. Okay, Marta. Love you. Bye.